Courthouse case, People versus Joshua Wara.
Cover me both of the people.
Mr. LeBeau's case. Wara.
Joshua Wara. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wara, can you state your name, sir?
My name is Joshua William Wara. I'm representing myself in this case.
So you don't want to be represented by an attorney?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I would say there come some perils with you representing yourself. You understand that, sir?
No. I know
You
the
don't
mission.
understand?
I'm a jailhouse
Pardon?
lawyer. I know what I'm doing. You are working.
I'm sorry?
You are being paid by Adolf Mack to fry me. This is conspiracy for murder. Your wife, Delphia Simpson, came up here pretending to be Ann Arbor Comprehensive Care Center yesterday. You are originally the Tux family. You are an Egyptian lord. You're Illuminati. If you do not help me,
I'm Illuminati.
I will sue you and criminally prosecute to the fullest extent.
Okay, I welcome that. You're invited to
Thank
do
you,
so.
Cedric Simpson.
What do you want to do with your case today?
Ellen Wara, Adolf Mack, Jeffrey Peak, Cynthia Miller, Frank Stanton tried to set me up, along with Derek Miller and Ryan Miller.
Okay,
They
but
are
I've got to
the
do
Ku Klux
something. I've got to
Klans.
do something. I've got to
With
do
the
something with your
NDOC.
case.
Huh?
I've got to do something with your case. What do you want me to do?
I would like to sue, and what am I in court for today? And I would like to prosecute to the fullest extent.
Okay, so
And
let
I
me
can
do
sue
this.
for
If
10
you
times the amount of what was stolen from me. They stole $666.8 million from me. They then turned it into 5.5 trillion and then put a hit out on me. I legally can sue for 10 times that amount, which would be $550 trillion.
This is the kind of hearing where the judge walks in expecting a routine procedural discussion and instead gets hit with conspiracy theories, trillion-dollar math, death penalty threats, and some of the wildest name-dropping you'll ever hear in open court. We're talking Adolf Hitler, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, J.P. Morgan Chase, the Illuminati, basically a greatest hits album of internet delusion, all rolled into one defendant who genuinely believes he's the victim of a global murder plot. And here's the dangerous part. Beneath all the absurdity is a very real felony charge. Leaving the scene of an accident involving serious injury or death. That's not internet roleplay. That's prison time territory. But instead of focusing on his defense, Joshua Wara chooses to represent himself, dismiss attorneys, and lean fully into sovereign ideology that has never once held up in a real courtroom. Watch closely how Judge Simpson handles this, because this is a masterclass in patience, restraint, and quietly preparing the groundwork for what may become a competency evaluation. Buckle up.
And I can
Okay.
criminally prosecute to the fullest
I'm with you.
extent, which is
I'm
my
with you.
right.
I did the math too. Listen, here's the thing.
Mhm.
I have to advise you, because if you are going to represent yourself, what you're here on, okay?
I'm doing it over Zoom because they're
So
trying
you're
to kill
here
me.
on a complaint that alleges that on October 15, 2025 on South Main Street
The Pentagon's
in the
using
city of
prism to
Ann
make
Arbor,
the
Washington
Zoom
County,
mess up.
that you failed to stop at the scene of an accident regarding resulting in serious impairment or death. Do you understand that charge?
$1 trillion.
Yeah, sure. And that's a felony, punishable by up to 5 years incarceration, a $5,000 fine plus court costs.
Which is actually 10 times the amount because I can sue because it's conspiracy to murder. And sovereign law would make it 100 times the amount, but since it is conspiracy to murder, sovereign law
I'm with
does
you.
not
I got you. I just have to let you know what you're charged with.
I can sue for
There's
1,000
also a
times the
count
amount.
2 on the complaint that alleges that on that same date and at that same time, that you did commit a moving violation causing serious impairment of a bodily function. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days, $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So there are serious perils representing yourself as opposed to having counsel. I would just have to advise you, you'd be treated the same. You are charged with making sure that you have and understanding and that you abide by the Michigan rules of, that you abide by the rules of evidence and the rules of procedure. You understand that?
Yes, Senator Simpson.
All right. And the other thing that I have to advise you of is that at any point during these proceedings, you wish to have counsel.
No, I
then
do
all
not
you
want
have to
any
do is
counsel, and I
just
want a bench
listen-
trial,
listen
not
to
a
what
jury
I'm
trial.
saying.
Because a bench
And
trial
then
is
if at
backed
any point
on
you do,
objective evidence.
if
A
at
bench
any
trial
point
is
you
subjective
do
evidence.
want counsel, you just have to let the court know and the court will make sure that you have counsel.
No,
You
I do not
understand
want
that?
counsel.
Okay, so what do you want me to do with your case today?
I
Now
would like
that
to
I've
do a
gotten through
bench
that
trial
part.
because a bench trial is on subjective
bench
evidence
trial?
and a jury
Well,
trial can
that's not
be
gonna happen.
bribed. And they're trying to
Okay,
bribe the
you
jury.
can go to
So
circuit
I
court and
want
have a
to
bench trial.
prosecute with sovereign law and it's conspiracy to murder and Donald Trump and Elon Musk are involved and I can sue for 1,000 times the amount. And sovereignty
Your Honor,
does
if I
not
can
exist
if I
because the
can
amount of money that
I
they
don't know,
put
I've
that
not
they
been
got
very
on
good at
me.
it, but
And Donald Trump and Elon
oh,
Musk and Adolf
so-
Mack and Doug Minkoff and Jeffrey Peake and Ellen Wara all have estates that and residencies in states that do apply the death penalty.
The moment Joshua insists on representing himself, every experienced courtroom watcher already knows where this is headed. Judges warn defendants about self-representation for a reason, not because it's illegal but because the legal system is procedural, technical, and unforgiving. And when someone immediately follows that decision by declaring themselves a jailhouse lawyer and accusing the judge of conspiracy to murder, that's not confidence, that's a flashing red warning sign. What's important here is that Judge Simpson doesn't argue, mock, or escalate. He calmly acknowledges the defendant's choice and continues doing what the law requires, ensuring the defendant understands the risks. Joshua, meanwhile, isn't engaging with the charges at all. He's already left reality and entered sovereign fantasy land, where imaginary laws override real statutes. This disconnect matters later because courts don't evaluate beliefs, they evaluate competency and conduct. And right now, this is already drifting out of normal territory.
okay, I'm with you. I got you. Let me hear from somebody else real quick.
Your Honor, if I was working with Mr. LeBeau on this file, I was going to be asking for an adjournment as this is a new file. The defendant is on surveillance video at the intersection of this crash causing this accident and then fleeing the scene. That has not been provided to either the defendant or his attorney if he has
I'd like to
one.
give
So
Donald
we would
Trump the
need more
elected
time.
chair.
The defendant's on parole, and if he's entertaining the idea of representing himself, I think it's important that we refer him to competency first.
Well, I don't know that I can do that right this second, although maybe. But here's what I'm gonna do. Sir,
Frederick Simpson.
I'm gonna adjourn your
I do
case
not want a
out.
jury trial. You cannot adjourn this. This is a high profile case. Where I can't, again.
Okay, but you
There are
haven't
too
seen
many
the
people involved.
You
You have a
haven't
neural link
seen.
in your brain and you are being manipulated and bribed and conspired against for murder by the Nazis. You will work with me.
This is a classic sovereign citizen tactic. Inflate numbers to cosmic levels and speak with absolute certainty, hoping authority will bend under confidence. Joshua casually throws out figures like $666 million, $5.5 trillion, and then leaps to $550 trillion in damages as if civil courts just print money for anyone who asks loudly enough. The judge's response is subtle but devastating. He doesn't debate ideology, he points out simple math. And that's intentional. Judges know you can't reason someone out of a belief system built on conspiracy, but you can document their inability to engage rationally with the process. Every time Joshua ignores the actual charge, leaving the scene of an accident, and instead pivots back to sovereign law, he's digging a deeper procedural hole. The courtroom isn't rejecting him emotionally, it's recording everything. And that record matters.
Based on
Listen,
factual evidence, the jury trial
I,
can be
I,
bribed.
I hear you. So the only thing that can happen is I can set this for a preliminary examination, but you haven't seen all the evidence.
I don't need all the evidence. I know all the evidence. Let me get a discovery
Okay, then.
packet though, so I can represent
So-
myself though, please. With all evidence, I would like to subpoena
You want to represent
phone records and
yourself.
all evidence.
All right, listen. Okay.
I would like to
So you want this
subpoena
set for
Bill
preliminary
Warren.
examination?
I would like to subpoena Bill Wara I would like to subpoena Scott Casey, the Michigan militia, all of their phones, Doug Minkoff, Jeffrey Peak, Adolph Mack, Donald
We're not
Trump,
bringing all those people
Elon
down.
Musk.
Yeah, okay. If you want to subpoena them, then you can. But I'm not bringing all those folks. You want, my problem is he's asked for his exam. So I will have to set it. I wonder who'd like to hear this.
Your Honor, would we still be on the case?
Hang on, I'll get to that in a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I'm gonna indicate he doesn't want his discovery. Says he doesn't need it.
Here's the moment most defendants would snap back to reality, when the judge spells out the charge and the penalties. Leaving the scene of an accident involving serious injury or death is a felony. Prison time. Criminal record. Life-altering consequences. This was Joshua's opportunity to pause, ask questions, or reconsider counsel. Instead, he hears the word felony and responds with more imaginary lawsuits and sovereign multipliers. Judge Simpson is doing exactly what appellate courts require, making sure the defendant understands what's at stake. Joshua's responses suggest he understands the words but not the meaning. That distinction is critical. Understanding charges isn't about repeating phrases, it's about grasping consequences. And every answer Joshua gives pushes this closer to a competency conversation, even if the judge hasn't said it outright yet.
Your Honor, I'm so used to just
And,
saying, yes, sir.
Adolf
No, I
Hitler
know,
is in
but
the
I
judicial
realize it's
court
close, but,
with Carol
it-
Conkey and East Hope, et cetera, et cetera.
excuse me?
Carol Conkey is involved. She is at 22nd Judicial Circuit Court with Feiger and Ellen Warren and Jeffrey Peak. Elon Musk is with Trump at the Michigan Supreme Court in Lansing. I do not want to adjourn. I want a bench trial now.
I am not adjourning. I'm giving you the quickest preliminary examination I possibly can.
Yes, sir.
But I have to hear from all sides regarding that. I would set it for the 28th. Counsel, most of these witnesses are police witnesses, so we could at least begin.
Okay, thank you. What's today?
That's a yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
What is today, Cedric Simpson?
Pardon?
What is today, Cedric Simpson?
Today is the 23rd.
Okay, Miss Lee, I'm sorry that I'm executing your husband.
You're executing what?
Miss Lee's husband, who is Adolph Mack. I'm giving him the electric chair. And I'm
Alright.
suing him for everything he owns. He's JP Chase Morgan. He owns Chase Bank. I want Chase Bank. He's Hitler.
Okay. All right.
I'm suing for Chase Bank and giving JP Morgan Chase, who is Adolph Mack, the electric chair.
Okay,
If
thank
Elon
you.
Musk works with me
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna
and
do.
Donald Trump.
I don't know that we'll be able to go, given how you're
Yes,
acting.
we will.
but
I want
I'm
a
gonna
bench
set
trial
your
today.
preliminary examination.
I am sorry, Cedric Simpson, that the and Adolph Mack, JP Morgan.
I'm gonna set your preliminary examination for October 28th, 2025, 9 a.m. That will be before me. I'm not, if I let the PD off, because I may on my own motion be referring for competency, I will do it that day. But so right now, to answer your question, Mr. LeBeau, you are still on the case. Because I think the more the merrier.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I-
No, you're not really thanking me, but I get it. All right, thank you. Thank you, sir.
This is where the tone quietly shifts. The prosecutor steps in, not to argue ideology but to anchor the case back to evidence. Surveillance video. Crash footage. Fleeing the scene. Suddenly this isn't abstract anymore. There's video. There's parole status. There's a timeline. And none of that disappears just because someone refuses discovery or claims omniscience. Notice how the prosecutor also raises concern about self-representation. Not mockery, not hostility, but procedural caution. Courts have an obligation to ensure fairness, even when defendants sabotage themselves. This is the moment where the legal system starts protecting the record, because if this goes sideways, higher courts will review every step taken today.
25T 5884. Entries from the people.
Ken G for the people, Your Honor.
And with that, good morning, or rather good afternoon now for the defense. State your first and last name for the record.
Robert Richards.
And with that, go ahead and have a seat. We're going to go ahead and do housekeeping. So we're here for motions and there's no resolution in this case?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And so with that, did you receive Mr. Richards' motion to dismiss the charges in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Richards, would you like to supplement the record by any oral arguments?
No, ma'am.
All right. And so for the people?
Your Honor, we would respectfully ask the court to deny this motion to dismiss. There is a factual basis for the charges as well as an unwillingness to unwillingness by Mr. Richards to come to a resolution in this case. So I believe that going to trial is appropriate resolution.
And so I just want to make sure I clearly heard you. This, you asked me to deny the motion because he's unwilling to resolve the matter?
We have not come to a resolution in this case.
Do you think that's a legal basis in which the court could do that?
And additionally, I believe there are enough facts to support the charges, Your Honor. And I believe that the people can prove this case with a reasonable certainty at trial.
And so as to Mr. Richards' motion, did you actually pull the cases he has cited?
I apologize, Your Honor.
As to Mr. Richards' motion, did you ever pull the cases that he has cited?
Yes, Your Honor. But and we the people would argue that these cases are not pertinent to these charges.
Can you tell me why?
Under Flournoy v. First National Bank, Mr. Richards quoted, "If the state converts a right into a privilege, the citizen can ignore the license and..."
And this would be under which case?
He quotes Flournoy v. First National Bank of Shreveport. It's 197, California.
And before you go any further, because I did pull these cases, and one of them, the site's incorrect. All right, you may continue as to Flournoy versus First National Bank of Shreveport.
He quotes that case saying, "If the state converts a right into a privilege, the citizen can ignore the license and fee and engage in the right with immunity." I apologize, Your Honor. I believe that's Shuttlesworth v. City of Birmingham, 373 U.S. at 268.
Okay, because that's the case that I could not find.
I also could not find that case, Your Honor.
But you were able to locate it?
I was not able to locate that case, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I was not able to locate that case, Your Honor.
Okay, that's the incorrect site. And so as to the others?
Requesting subpoenas for Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and random private citizens isn't strategy. It's proof of detachment from legal relevance. Subpoenas must be tied to material evidence, not imagined conspiracies. Judges don't deny these requests emotionally, they deny them because the law requires relevance. What's striking is how Judge Simpson continues responding calmly, even humorously at times, while clearly steering the case back toward a preliminary examination. This isn't indulgence, it's containment. Letting the defendant talk creates a record. And that record is increasingly incompatible with rational participation. Every courtroom has limits, and Joshua is sprinting toward them.
As to Murdoch v. Pennsylvania, 319 U.S. 105, no state shall convert a liberty into a license. So I believe that case was decided in 1943 about wares and merchandise. I don't believe that pertains to a driver's license, and as the facts in this case do, Your Honor.
So with that, Mr. Richards, would you like to respond to her arguments to the court as to why I should not grant your motion to dismiss based on the cases you have cited?
Well, we can start with Article 6, Clause 2.
Of which Constitution?
The United States Constitution.
Let me go ahead.
All persons born and naturalized in the United States are subject to jurisdiction therefore are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of liberty or property without due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction equal protections under the law. Now I'd like to cite the definition of liberty: the freedom and exemption from extraneous control, the power of the will and its moral freedom to follow the dictates of its unrestricted choice and to direct the external acts of the individual without restraint, coercion, or control from others. I apologize. The first amendment I read was Amendment 14, Section 1. Article 6, Clause 2, all debts, contracts, and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution shall be as valid against the United States under this Constitution as under the Confederation. The Constitution, the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or the laws of any state contrary to the contrary withstanding. The senators and representatives before mentioned and the members of the several states legislatures and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. The United States Code is the supreme law of the land. All states are required and bound by it. And the USC recognizes no law for a driver's license, for inspection, for insurance, or for registration. And the only law that they do have on the books is regarding registration for commercial vehicles. The word driver is a commercial term, which means that you're using the road for a commercial purpose or for a higher purpose. I have stated since I met with the officer who initially pulled me over that I am a private traveler.
All right. Any additional arguments you'd like to make to the court?
I mean, I can cite the right to travel, which is Second American Jurisprudence, Constitutional Law, Section 329, page 1150 or 1135, which states personal liberty largely consists of the right of locomotion to go where and when one pleases, only so far restrained as the rights of others may make it necessary for the welfare of all other citizens. The right of the citizens